Hello, how are we all? Good? What's happening out there in the land of YouTube? Haven't really been up so much. It's been really difficult to get a video uploaded. I've got a little 2-year-old who's running around like a Tasmanian devil. I'll show you a few clips. I'm trying to sit there and he's like running. Ah, Spider-Man! I'm trying to be serious and professional. Look at this little lad just jumping all over me, throwing everything at me. I love the bones of him. And that's it. You've got a responsibility as a dad. And, I could talk about being a dad and the responsibilities. And I'm not just a stand-in dad. I don't just like turn up and, take my kid for a walk. I'm there with him every single day. I'm part of his life. He wakes up and sees me. He goes to bed and that's it. So it has been a bit difficult trying to do an upload. What's been going on? Yeah, like I said, I went to London, done an interview with the Lab Bio, and I was thinking, what do they want to know about me that hasn't already been sold? I've sat there and I've said, look, start from the beginning and let's go to the end. Yeah. A young lady called Erin. She was lovely. She was asking questions from the background. About this, about that. And there was so much that I had and that I could tell them, and it was coming out. It was a bit random. It was all over the place, but I'm pretty sure they do what they do with the editing type of stuff. But at the end of it, I said, look, because I always question how I come across. Was that okay? Was that enough for you? And did you get the content you need? And you know what, Bill? Never, as that team, because I had the old team, they were just in stitches. I was talking about like. I said to them, they asked me a question about like what it was like in the Shelby first experience. I said, well, okay, I goes in my pad in Chiang Mai. I walks in, I'm acting brave, and hard but scared at the same time. As I get puts in this little space next to this lady boy called Tiffany, she had a boob tube on, right, which said, no money, no honey, and this little pair of Demon's shorts with a crazy bulge, right. I go, I like your blue eye. Remember, she just, I like your blue eye. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, I hope she doesn't like the brown one. You know what I mean? It's quite flattered like that, she liked the blue one. And everyone was laughing, and it was because it's real. It's true, we have to, like, in hardship and adversity, we have to look at, like, our humour. My humour kept me alive. It kept me sane. I laugh at my misfortunes, and there's a lot of serious stuff that went on in my life, and I witnessed, rapes and murders and people killing themselves, and it wasn't very nice. I've been subjected to violence myself. I've been hit over the head with machetes, hammers, I've been slashed, I've been shot at, I've come off a motorbike and ripped my intestines out. It's been a really difficult and horrendous journey for me at the best of times, and really, I don't know how I'm still here. And I love my audience, and I love the fact that you enjoy listening to my stories. And that's what I've got. I've got plenty of lived experience, and I sometimes I put myself down. I think, what am I going to say that can be beneficial? Now, someone said, have you made up these words, consequential and beneficial? Well, yeah, beneficial is a word. Consequential, I'm pretty sure that's a word also. But if not, like Russell Brand, I'll stick it in the Oxford Dictionary. I'll make it up. A giraffe goes to pot of piggerooters. There's a new word for you. I remember that kid saying to me, get on that bed, lads. He looks like a giraffe goes to pot of piggerooters. I couldn't even say that. Supercalifragilistic, SB giraffe goes to pot of piggerooters. Yeah, anyway, that's what a bird I had looked like. I remember being in Thailand and I was with this bird and I thought she's gorgeous, and my mate was sitting next to me going, look, lad, she is the image of 50 Cent. And then I thought, fucking hell, he's right. But anyway, I'm going with that anyway, either way. Yeah, so, yeah, relationships, toxic relationships, there's one I wanted to cover, because I've spoken to my mate about relationships. Now, for me, I'd settle for less, cap in hand. I was codependent. I was paranoid. If I met a good-looking bird, and I was reading a text message and he wasn't a kiss or an extra kiss at the end of it, I'd be like, what's going on here? Suspicion. I know the power The power of a text message, where it can take you. The power of a phone call can remove you from a group of friends. It's it's happened to me. I've been in great company. A relationship has ended, and I'm trying to get over it. And I'm keeping my distance. And next thing, I get a text message off it. Boom. Right, I've got to go. Right, straight away. I'm dropping them. I'm going to see her. And then me mates, they're like, lad, what's up with you, lad? You like an ice cream? Behave. But that was it. I was just a crazy mixed up kid in a 2-bit town, and I was emotionally insecure, and it ruined me for years. I was codependent. I'd go with birds who I didn't even fancy. They'd be going, oh, why don't you get your hair done? Like that. I'd have quiffs on me like RS Cosy spoilers, and I'd be walking around in dungarees and sporting monkey boots just to please them. Because that's what I was about, people pleasing. I'd move in with birds who were like 20 years older than me. That I'd have a dozen kids calling me dad, and the kids would be older than me. I'd have a pair of slippers on thinking, that's it, I'd be watching fucking cartoons because I'm still a kid. I was still like trapped in like that child like thinking. I mean, I'm an adult, because I didn't grow up for years. I didn't grow up for years. I don't know where I'm going with these little talks here, but it's a lot comes rushing back to me, and I remember like as a kid, I'd say early 20s, and still watching cartoons and enjoying them. I'd go to bed every night and I'd wake up screaming, and it'd always be about my dad. Yeah, it'd always be like bad memories, and that was the trauma. And it wasn't until I got to a rehab and I spoke about it that it was like peeling the layers of an onion off. It was healing. Now I can speak about my dad and it's okay. He was my hero, even though he beat me up. When he passed away, I held his hand and I told him I loved him. And he told me. And I believed for the first time that he loved me. And that was enough. I forgave him for all that abuse and all that physical violence. And for not allowing me to feel a part of the family. Because I always felt I was like an outsider looking in. And my mum, bless her, she done the best for us. She couldn't do enough, and she was quite overwhelmed with 6 kids. She had 6 of us within 8 years, so it was hard growing up. I'm not saying, because we had a tough time growing up, it took me down them paths. I think it contributed. It was part of. So yeah, the questions are being asked are being varied, especially by the lab while they were asking me different questions. So they took me on this journey and I took them on a journey, and my journey took me to climbing on prison rooftops, took me down to segregation units. It took me to almost premature death, but now it's brought me to life. And I've never in a million years thought I'd write books. Fucking hell, I wrote that. I wrote it. No one else wrote it for me. I didn't dictate. I don't believe, right, I'm going to say this how it is. I don't believe you can call yourself an author if someone else has wrote the book for you. Right? That's the truth. Right? Because you can fool a bacon and get away with a bun. But if you fool yourself, you'll end up with none. So when you're writing about yourself, right, you can't escape the truth. You can tell a story to someone and you can invent and you can exaggerate and you can make it up. But when you're telling a story about like how scared you was, how vulnerable you felt, how rejected you was constantly and dismissed and abandoned. How you had nothing, you grew up, and my ma shopped in Bernardo's. I wore second-hand clothes. You know, I got called a tramp in school. Got called names like, you know, so there's a fucking lot, isn't it, that goes on in your life. And I'm not just talking about, like, woe be me, but I know that people out there are struggling. People are at home and they've got addiction problems. And I know how it manifests in your life. And it comes, we use on our feelings, simple as we use on our feelings. Remember that thoughts, feelings, actions, consequences. The thought always, you know, oh, they don't like me, or is he looking at me like I'm fucking stupid. You know, the feeling is like your ego and your pride and your anger and all that, resentful. You know, the action is acting on those feelings. It was always that for me. I acted on those feelings. And the consequences were like, fucking hell, why did I do that? Just being nicked, sitting in the cell. I said, I should have went that way. I should have even went there. Oh, I wish I could have done that. Would have, should have. But you did, and you did, and that's how it is. Face it. You know, you got to go to court now. You got to go for bail. No, so I have just gone on a big mad one here. But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening, and you know, looking forward to uploading a few more. Take care. Ta-ra.